Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Secure and Defend section group conversation. Wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is David DeSanto. I'll be the host of this group conversation. We provided a video ahead of time, hoping you all got a chance to watch it, as well as go through the slides. And as of right now, it might be the shortest group conversation in history because there's no questions in the doc. So if you have a question, feel free to vocalize it and we can get it written down. Or if you have questions you want to start writing down, that would be great. So while you all think of questions, I'll just give you a couple highlights that the team is really excited about. The first is our container host security category shipped to minimal recently. That's very exciting. That's providing us intrusion protection, application allow listing, and file integrity checking within Kubernetes. So that's a very awesome accomplishment here. Also, our first shipping release with the technology from our recent acquisitions shipped in last week, I think, to .com. Provided, so Sam Kerr's nodding his head yes, so that's a true statement. That's good. And it provides coverage guided fuzzing for Go. And we just added C++ support as well. And I'm very excited to tell everyone that we've already had a customer implement it and find problems in their source code. So I think that's the fastest I've had validation from the market, where we release something and within days, somebody's coming back and telling us they found the value. But they were able to find issues that they have not found previously. That includes things that are, they've been in their source code for a long time. And so everybody, as part of the secure team, is very excited to see that. We're also very excited to be having the maturity driving as well within Defend and Secure. And now we have our first person adding some text. So Scott, would you like to vocalize that?
Yeah, David, want to piggyback on that. That is a remarkably fast integration and demonstration of value. So congrats to everybody involved in getting that done quickly. Can you talk more about how you envision the fuzz testing category maturing? You started with .com and a couple of languages. Where does it go from here?
Sure. So our next self-hosted release will include coverage guided fuzzing. It missed the cutoff to be merged into the last release by, Sam can correct me, but I think it was several hours. So as soon as it got through that gating process, the next time we pushed on the .com, it went out. Next steps for coverage guided fuzzing is to continue to add additional language support. I'll let Sam go over the languages he's looking at next. And then also bringing in the one thing we're really excited about at Fuzzit, which is the crash deduplication and correlation, so we can reduce false positives in our fuzz testing. The other acquisition, Peach-Tech, we're on track to have something shipping for API fuzzing either this month or next month. And that'll be also, like to stress to everybody, that's ahead of schedule. So that's also very awesome that we're ahead of where we wanted to be at this point. So Sam, it's your stuff. Would you like to add anything to that or clarify anything I said wrong?
Yeah, sure. I'll just add on to some stuff there. So really what our focus is for coverage guided fuzz testing, we've got some of the first versions out on .com now. So we're going to continue adding additional language support, making the use cases we want to use cases we want to focus on easier to use. One of the things historically that fuzz testing has struggled with back in the early 2010s and the early 2000s was it was very hard to use. That's one of our key focuses at GitLab, is making it easy to use. So really finding any of those friction points to make sure customers can be successful quickly is going to be where we're focusing. To everyone else on the call, since fuzz testing is new, I would love to talk to your customers and prospects with you about fuzz testing. So if you ever get any conversations that would be interesting to pull me into, I'd really appreciate that as well. And then David also mentioned API fuzz testing is going to be another place we're focusing on. This is really going to speak to a lot of our customers that have use cases around web applications, web APIs. We're starting to see more and more of the industry moving towards open API. And so that's exactly where we're focusing with our API fuzz testing. So you'll see a lot more features and maturity in that space as well. And I don't want to take all of our time, so happy to answer other questions afterwards too.
Yeah, Sam, I think the only thing you didn't touch on is what are the next languages? So what are you looking to have over the next 3 months?
Yeah, so all the issues are on the board if I forget some, but the next few that we'll be focusing on are Rust, Java, Python, JavaScript. And then if there are other languages that you're seeing being used in the field, that feedback is great to help us prioritize languages that either aren't there or make sure that we're doing them in the right order based on customer needs.
And Scott, back to you of the next question.
All right. We did a bunch of work on offline environments. I think there's still more to do, which positions us to sell to organizations that don't want to connect to the internet. Has that had an impact on sales to your knowledge? And without naming names, can you talk about any impact it's had?
That's a great question. And it's something we highlighted in the video, but for everyone who hasn't seen the video or just watching this live, yes, we actually had offline environments play a huge part in the largest opportunity that GitLab has closed. So most of you heard about it in the sales call, and I remember how McPhee danced around it without saying names, but I just like to say, if you check in the what's happening at GitLab channel about it, I think it was also in the sales channel. Yes, that one deal was directly attached to the offline. And we're excited because that's not only a large amount of new Ultimate users, but it's Ultimate users using something we worked hard to deliver, which is the offline support. And it was a key deciding point in that deal. So congratulations to the Secure team for working on it. And thanks for asking the question, Scott.
Yeah, you bet. Nice work, everybody.
Okay, so that takes us to the end of the questions. We'll give you a couple seconds here to vocalize anything else you have. While you are all thinking of great questions, Secure and Defend PM team, is there anything you want to highlight that maybe wasn't in the slides or not touched upon in the video?
Hey, David, do you want to mention the Linux Foundation open source security project that we're part of?
That's a great thing to mention. So yeah, so GitLab just joined the open source software security forum or foundation. We actually are a founding member, so we were included in the press release. We're very excited to be part of this. It was started as initially just a GitHub project that we joined, and now it's become part of the Linux Foundation. I will also highlight that Derek on the product team was spearheading that. And I think he's also very excited that we're now part of it. Derek, is there anything that you want to add as to why you were interested in joining it for GitLab and how you see it benefiting us?
Sure. I think that this offers a really great opportunity for us to get more involved in the security work that these open source companies are doing, as well as partner with other companies to kind of forward that security first mindset amongst open source projects. And it really puts us into a position where we're helping others to do what we're already doing with our own products, with using the security tools in the development lifecycle and within the pipeline. I think that this will provide a really good opportunity to push the entire open source community more towards secure coding and producing products that really provide that benefit of being a security first mindset. So I think that it's just a great opportunity for us to work together with other companies. There's a bit, like David said, there's a press release that went out, and there's a lot of great companies that are involved with it. So we're really looking forward to working with them.
Eric, how would they, if you happen to know, how would they compare or contrast with a group like OWASP?
So OWASP is actually a part of this group, and it's really this group is really focused more on working groups to come up with projects and sort of standards around how security is dealt with within the open source community. So it'll be providing tools for open source developers to help them with their secure coding, as well as just kind of offer some standards that just haven't been in the market before. So with all of these companies working together, it just provides a great way for us to get that out there. So it's a little bit different than the OWASP focus, which is very tool specific for the different security areas, but it's just kind of working across those company lines.
The one thing I'd like to add to that, Wayne, because I think this is also not, it doesn't just benefit, the secure stuff, but it benefits the defense stuff, is that like, as we are being open source stewards and, as Derek saying, providing open source tooling for our customers in our free tier. So for all those who are aware, we're moving the SAS scanners down to core. We started doing that a couple of releases ago. The last release is 13.3. Like, that example of us leading open source stewardship and us being a part of this, I think gives us additional exposure that we wouldn't necessarily get just from being part of OWASP.
Is there a press release on this subject specifically?
There is. Cindy's nodding her head yes, that she also knows there's one. So that's her volunteering, Larry, to drop it in the agenda.
I'll find it.
Cindy.
It's in Slack somewhere. I'll find it.
Thank you.
And by the way, we're not on their member page. I'm trying to get that corrected through our alliances team.
Yeah, and my hope long-term, Larry, is not just to be one of the founding members, but to get a board seat in the process as well. And Brandon Young is working on that, as he's our representative in the Linux Foundation. So once that happens, well, I'm sure we'll make a news about that as well.
Sure. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yep. And then I like your shameless plug for commit. Cindy, do you want to vocalize it?
Yeah, sure. So we have a DevSecOps track for commit that's coming up on August 26th, my birthday, if anybody cares. It's easy to remember. There are 2 sessions that this team is doing, which is pretty cool. So David and Sam are talking about fuzz testing, and Wayne, Philippe, and a customer, Nico, are talking about the defend and secure capabilities, and actually doing a demo of some of the container security pieces. So it's exciting there.
Yeah, I will say it'd be shameless of me to plug my own, though I'll tell you it'll be the best fuzzing talk ever given. So don't miss it. But on the defense side, the story that Philippe and Wayne and Nico pulled together to talk about the Valley Defense is really awesome. So if you can attend one thing, because I know we're all going to be busy when commit's going on, check out theirs, whether it's when it's in the track or the recorded version of it. It's a great story for everyone who's coming into Defend to see how we can not only provide visibility into Kubernetes, but we can also defend or protect the Kubernetes deployment.
I had one of the ideas on the presentation. Philippe did all the hard work, so kudos to Philippe in making that happen.
And one other thing, while I'm plugging David's activities here too, he's been doing analyst presentations about the fuzzing acquisition, and we have gotten incredible feedback. I guess I can't name names, but one of the Gartner analysts said that he really valued the strategy that we're taking, where we're taking fuzz testing and applying it in a way that kind of makes it more mainstream and more useful. And he sees that we're being very strategic in our application security testing direction. So I'm hopeful that that's really going to plant the seed for the next MQ to move us along on the strategy line there.
Yeah, and to kind of add to Cindy's comment, like I'm hopefully optimistic. For those who know me well, know that I'm very cautious when going like, yay, something's awesome. But what Cindy's referring to is part of those acquisitions. Some of the analysts we were brand new to, so they heard about it, but they wanted to talk to us. And one of them actually said that where we are today, we are actually going to be disrupting the application security testing market, which is a huge accomplishment for us, only being a couple of years into this. And we're going against companies that have been in this for 10 or 15 years. So that's a tribute to everyone that's in secure and defend, to the broader teams like marketing, where Cindy is, sales, for believing in the vision, pushing the vision, and it's paying off. We're getting the recognition for it. So that's very exciting. So Cindy, is there anything else you want to shamelessly plug before we wrap up here?
No, I'm good. And Larry, I'm still looking for that link. I'll find it eventually and get it in here.
Thank you.
Okay, so with that, we're at the end of the questions. If you haven't, please watch the video. We're only scraping the surface of the awesome things that are going on in this section. Again, thanks to Scott for reminding me to mention the large deal that was tied to AirGap, our offline support. It's real and it paid off. And everyone have a good rest of your day, and we'll give you the 10 minutes back.
Thanks, y'all. Bye.